Question number 1. An auditor has doubts about the integrity of management and the reliability of representations obtained from management, but has not decided to resign from the engagement. What type of audit report is most likely appropriate? Letter A, an unmodified opinion, since resignation has not occurred. Letter B, a qualified opinion, limited to the areas affected by management's representations. Letter C, a disclaimer of opinion, since this represents a significant scope limitation. Letter D, an adverse opinion, since management's misstatements are presumed to be material. Correct answer is letter C. Explanation. Letter C is correct because serious doubts about management's integrity undermine the reliability of the representations the auditor needs to rely on throughout the entire engagement, which professional standards treat as a significant scope limitation. That significance is exactly why a disclaimer, not a lesser qualification, is the expected outcome. Question number 2. An auditor disclaims an opinion because of a client-imposed scope limitation. Should the auditor's responsibility section, the opinion paragraph, or both be deleted from the report? Letter A. The opinion paragraph should be omitted entirely. Letter B. Both the auditor's responsibility paragraph and the opinion paragraph should be omitted. Letter C. The opinion paragraph should be omitted, but the auditor's responsibility paragraph is retained. Letter D. Neither paragraph is omitted. Both are instead modified. Correct answer is letter D. Explanation. Letter D is correct because a disclaimer doesn't mean parts of the report simply disappear. Both the auditor's responsibility paragraph and the opinion paragraph stay in the report, but each is reworded to reflect the scope limitation and the fact that no opinion is being expressed. Question number 3. A group engagement partner decides not to make reference to the audit of a component auditor. Beyond making inquiries about that component auditor's reputation and independence, what else is the group engagement partner responsible for? Letter A, adding an emphasis of matter paragraph describing the component auditor's work. Letter B, nothing further, since responsibility rests entirely with the component auditor. Letter C, obtaining the component auditor's written permission before proceeding. Letter D, performing additional procedures, with the extent depending on the significance of the component. Correct answer is letter D. Explanation. Letter D is correct because choosing not to refer to the component auditor means the group engagement partner is taking full responsibility for the component's work. That added responsibility comes with added duty, performing further procedures scaled to how significant the component actually is to the overall financial statements. Question number 4. Which of the following scope limitations is, by itself, sufficient to preclude an unmodified opinion? Letter A. The auditor was unable to observe a portion of the physical inventory count due to scheduling. Letter B. Certain minor account confirmations could not be obtained but alternative procedures were applied. Letter C. A component auditor's working papers could not be reviewed, though other evidence was available. Letter D. Management refuses to furnish a written representation letter. Correct answer is letter D. Explanation. Letter D is correct because a written representation letter from management is considered essential audit evidence in its own right, so refusing to provide one is treated as a scope limitation serious enough, by itself, to rule out an unmodified opinion. The other situations describe limitations the auditor can often work around using alternative procedures. Question number 5. In which of the following situations may an auditor issue the standard, unmodified, audit report without any modification? Letter A. The auditor makes reference to the work of a specialist. Letter B. The entity presents condensed financial statements. Letter C. The financial statements are prepared using a framework other than GAAP. Letter D. The principal auditor assumes responsibility for the work of another auditor. Correct answer is letter D. Explanation. Letter D is correct because once the principal auditor takes on full responsibility for the other auditor's work, there is no need to modify the standard report to mention that other auditor at all. The other 3 situations, referencing a specialist, condensed statements, or a non-GAAP framework, all require some departure from the standard report format. Question number 6. A CPA is asked to report on only one financial statement, such as the balance sheet, rather than a full set of financial statements. Which of the following best describes the CPA's responsibility? Letter A. The CPA must decline the engagement, since reporting on a single statement represents a scope limitation. Letter B. The CPA must first obtain a waiver from the entity's audit committee. Letter C. The CPA may accept the engagement, since this reflects limited reporting objectives rather than a scope limitation on audit procedures. Letter D. The CPA may accept the engagement only if a disclaimer of opinion is issued. Correct answer is letter C. Explanation. Letter C is correct because being asked to report on just one financial statement is simply a narrower reporting objective, not a restriction on the procedures the auditor is allowed to perform. Since the CPA can still apply whatever procedures are needed to support an opinion on that one statement, there's no reason to decline the engagement or default to a disclaimer. Question number 7. A group engagement partner decides not to make reference to a component auditor who audited a client's subsidiary. What is the group engagement partner's responsibility? Letter A. To issue an unmodified opinion on the consolidated financial statements regardless of findings. Letter B. To ensure the component auditor issued an unmodified opinion on the subsidiary's financial statements. Letter C. To perform the same fixed set of procedures regardless of the subsidiary's significance. Letter D. To be satisfied as to the component auditor's independence and professional reputation, regardless of whether reference is made. Correct answer is letter D. Explanation. Letter D is correct because checking the component auditor's independence and professional reputation is a baseline responsibility that applies either way, whether or not the group engagement partner ultimately decides to reference that auditor in the report. It's a due diligence step, not something tied only to the referencing decision itself. Question number 8. In which of the following situations would an auditor ordinarily issue an unmodified opinion without adding an emphasis of matter paragraph? Letter A. The entity had significant related party transactions during the year. Letter B. The auditor makes reference to the report of another auditor who audited a component of the entity. Letter C. The entity's financial statements omit the statement of cash flows. Letter D. Substantial doubt exists about the entity's ability to continue as a going concern. Correct answer is letter B. Explanation. Letter B is correct because referencing another auditor's report on a component simply describes a division of responsibility. It doesn't call for an emphasis of matter paragraph the way related party transactions, an omitted cash flow statement, or going concern doubt each would. Question number 9. An auditor issues a qualified opinion due to a major inadequacy in a client's computerized accounting records. What should the opinion paragraph indicate? Letter A. A direct reference to the client's specific scope limitation imposed by management. Letter B. That the audit departed from generally accepted auditing standards because of the inadequacy. Letter C. An exception based on the possible effects of the inadequacy on the financial statements. Letter D. That certain necessary disclosures were inadequate given the circumstances. Correct answer is letter C. Explanation. Letter C is correct because the opinion paragraph frames the qualification around the possible effects the record-keeping inadequacy may have had on the financial statements, rather than making a blanket statement about a GAR's departure or pointing to a disclosure problem that isn't actually the issue here. Question number 10. An auditor's report includes sentences in the auditor's responsibility section stating that another auditor audited a portion of the entity. What do these sentences indicate? Letter A. A division of responsibility between the two auditors. Letter B. That the reporting auditor is assuming full responsibility for the other auditor's work. Letter C. That an unmodified opinion cannot be issued under these circumstances. Letter D. That the sentences are improper and should not appear in a standard report. Correct answer is letter A. Question number 1.